Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with us, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. So this lesson is about reharmonization. That means we're going to take an existing song and we're going to find new chords to play over the same melody. Now, that means that you're probably going to need to already know about chords and keys and probably intervals, and probably have already several songs that you can play well enough that they actually sound like the song. But even if you can't do that, you might pick up some interesting theory bits along the way. So feel free to join us. The goal, though, is not this song. It's not about the song that we're working on. It's really about taking the concepts you like, the reharmonizations, the substitutions that you like from this lesson, and then applying them to other songs that you already know how to play. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside, so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? So I am participating in this event thing called NaNoWriMo this year.
NaNoWriMo.
It stands for National Novel Writing Month. And it's every November, and the goal is to write...
Wait, hang on. Nano what?
WRIMO. W-R. Like, because get it? Not writing month. Because NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, totally.
You were saying.
So, the goal is to write 50,000 words in a month, and I'm trying it for the first time. I've done Camp NaNoWriMo, which is like where you get to make your own goal. But this one, they're like, no, you only get this one goal.
So you got to do 2,000 words a day.
Ish, yeah. I think it's like 1,600 or 1,700. But yeah.
Wow.
I am struggling to keep up with the writing schedule so much because I usually write like half that amount.
Yeah. How long does it take you to write that much?
Well, normally it takes me twice
in a day.
Oh,
like 1,600 words.
Oh.
How long does that take?
Like, well, it depends on what I'm writing, but like an hour or an hour and a half.
Okay. Wow.
Sometimes 2 hours.
All right. The words just flow out of you. All right.
I'm trying.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And this is on a particular topic or just adding to your novel?
Well, I'm starting a new novel, so yes, any topic.
Wow. Cool.
I'm trying.
Way to go. Proud of you. You're
Thank
awesome.
you.
All right, let's get into this reharm thing. So last week we talked about playing how to play these chords here, and so the step one is we're just gonna like try to play through the chords, and we're not gonna worry about the melody today. So if you want to give me the keys, thanks. And if you zoom out, we'll go ahead and since we already did this lesson last week, I won't go through how to play all the chords. I will tell you that there's just 4 chords in the song, and they just loop the whole entire time. So we're probably just gonna like hang out right here and pay attention to the D flat chord, and the A flat, and the B flat minor, and the G flat. And then we'll switch it up at different times, like when we want to do different sections different ways, but they don't do different sections different ways. They do the whole entire thing that way. So let me show you what we ended with last week, and then we can start there and do some reharm stuff today. So here we go. This is what we had last week.
Oh, yep, I got it. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save
B flat minor, G flat, D flat,
this all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy.
B flat minor, G flat.
I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way
Literally the whole entire time.
Now the day bleeds.
Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be those 4 chords all the way through. We'll go ahead and stop the track there. All right, so then we're gonna go down to here, and this is our reharmonization worksheet. The last page of it is all the different ideas that we could have. Sometimes we do the spinning wheels from learnpianolive.com/reharm. Today we're just gonna try to go through these and see how many of them we can nail before we run out of time. So the first thing we're gonna do here is add in the 7ths and the 9ths and maybe the 6s, also known as the 13s, to all these chords. So we've got 4 chords here: D flat to A flat to B flat minor to G flat. We're in the key of D flat. We talked about that last week. So what we're gonna do is add the note that is 1 note to the left and 1 note to the right inside of the key of D flat. So the key of D flat being all of these notes right here: D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. So on a D flat chord, the note that is 1 note to the left of the root, the name of the chord, D flat, is going to be a C, and then the note that is 1 note to the right of that is an E flat. So this is how I would play a D flat. We would end up calling this a D flat major 7. For reasons we don't want to get into. Yeah. So this is a D. We would get into it other times. And if you have questions about it, hit me up. I can either send you in the direction of the video that we've done on major 7, like names of chords, or you and I can work together on that individually. But so that's our D flat major 7 chord, and then we'd go to an A flat chord, and we would play the note that is 1 note to the left and 1 note to the right of that in the key of D flat, and we would end up with this chord right here, which would be known as an A flat 7 or an A flat 9 chord. Then we'd go to the B flat minor and do the same thing there. Take that root and split it 1 note in each direction, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and we'd end up with this, which would be a B flat minor 9 chord. And then we would play the G flat chord and play the note that is 1 note to the left and 1 note to the right of the root of the chord, and end up with that thing, which is a G flat major 7. So we've gone pretty quickly through this because these are just one of the base concepts that we need in order to get through this reharm stuff. So just adding in 7s and 9s to the chords we're already playing, and that might be, if you haven't done a reharm before, that might be enough of a reharm and enough of a practice for you. You just take that concept and go try that with some other song that you're working on. Don't worry about this song. This song doesn't really matter. The concepts are the important part. So take whatever song you're working on and try staying within the key and going 1 note to the left and 1 note to the right of the root of the chord and adding those in. Those would be the 7s and the 9s. And so if we did that along with a track, it would sound something like this. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to And then we can invert these chords too. So we don't necessarily have to play them in this order. So we can, instead of playing, for example, on this first chord, instead of playing these 2 notes here, we can play these 2 notes anywhere else we want. We'll go ahead and kill the track there. Then, so we'll take these two notes and we could play them, like we could play this C up here if we wanted to, and this is still that D flat major 7 chord right there. Or we could put this note on top here. We could play that. We can play any of these notes in any order that we want. So just taking that into consideration, we could change up some voicings on these chords. Voicings just being what order we put the notes in. We're gonna keep the same letters and then just put them in a different order. It would sound something like this.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds.
So this already is starting to sound a little bit different. Almost sounds like a reharm, even though I haven't really changed any of the. Would it kill the track, please? Thanks. So then I haven't really changed any of the chords yet. I'm just like I've added in the 7s and the 9s to all the chords, and then just repositioned the same exact letters in different orders here. So then that's adding in the 7s and the 9s, and then we can add in the 5 of any chord before it. So on this chord right here, this D flat chord, if we want to ask ourselves what would sound great before a D flat chord, in a lot of cases it's just that note right there. If we call this the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the chord, which we do, then this is the answer to the question. What would sound great before a D flat? An A flat would. Let's try that on a different chord. What about the A flat chord that we have? What would sound great before an A flat? 1, 3, 5. An E flat would sound great before an A flat. What would sound great before a B flat chord? 1, 3, 5. An F would sound great before a B flat. What would sound great before a G flat chord? 1, 3, 5. The D flat would sound great before a G flat. So we can add in those chords before those chords anytime that we wanted. So if we go back up to here, then taking these 4 chords that keep looping over and over and over, and we can just add in the chords that come before them. So the thing that came before the D flat was an A flat, and we're gonna make these all 7 chords, dominant chords. The thing that comes before an A flat chord would be an E flat. The thing that would come before a B flat chord would be an F, and then the thing that would come before a G flat chord would be a D flat. And then we're looped back around to the A flat 7 there to lead into the D flat. This means that the chords are gonna go by pretty quickly because we were already moving at kind of a quick pace. So now we're gonna have to double the pace of our chords in order to get all these 5s in. So we can try this again. After Kendra interrupts. I don't know. It looked like you had something to say.
Oh, hey, Jamin. Guess what?
What?
It's time for our feature of the day.
I'm all shocked.
Today is the preview.
Yes.
Of the day.
Yeah. So we're gonna be adding this one in here pretty soon. This is the Coltrane diminished lick, which we have talked. We've talked about the diminished scale before, but this one's gonna be. It's on any dominant chord. We got an entire lesson coming up on this, but it's gonna be that concept right there, 4 notes, and then we would just take that down by a minor third or 3 half steps. As long as we wanted to. So that thing right there is what we're going to be getting into later on in an upcoming lesson that kind of like leads into some idiom stuff. And we've got one more idiom to add in. Actually, I just talked with Dr. Gilman today, and we have one idiom that's not even on our list yet that we got to add in. So all that stuff is coming up. Great soloing ideas for cool jazzy stuff. But we need to get back to this after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. If you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us. All right, so back into this thing. We've got the A flat 7 that comes before the D flat, the E flat 7 that comes before the A, the F that comes before the B flat minor, and the D flat that comes before the G flat. So that's a lot of chords. I'm guessing eventually we're going to take some of these out just because it feels like too much. But this, along with the track that you have, would sound something like this.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down.
So it is a lot of chords to push through, but that's kind of the idea, is at least having some fives in there gives us some more to work with when we start doing our other reharm subjects and topics, these concepts. That's what the word I was going for. So let's talk about chords here. So the first thing we can do with a song like this is harmonic generalization, which is kind of what they're doing anyway in the song. That just means that you're going to take the different chords that exist inside of the scale, and then you can just kind of like play any chord at any time because the melody is really static. It's really repetitive. And so it's going to keep doing the same exact thing, and the concept of the chord of the song is that you've got these chords that are changing underneath this repeating melody. That's your melody, and then you can kind of like shift the chords underneath all of that. So if we just like take that to its extreme, then we've got these chords here in the key of D flat. We've got all of these chords. Here we go. Key of D flat. We got all of these chords right here. A D flat could work, an E flat minor could work, an F minor could work, a G flat could work, an A flat could work, a B flat minor could work, a C half diminished could even work. So if we just like pick these randomly, and Kendra, I'm gonna have you pick, I don't know, let's pick 8 random numbers 1 through 7.
Okay.
In any order. Go ahead.
3.
3.
5.
5.
1.
1.
4.
4.
6.
6.
2.
2.
7.
7. And then we need one more.
Oh, I really thought I got them all. Okay.
You did.
Oh, 1.
1. So we'll go back to the 1 chord again. So I put these in order that the chord order that she said. So the order of the chords is going to be the 3 chord, then the 5 chord, then the 1 chord, then the 4 chord, then the 6 chord, then the 2 chord, then the 7 chord, then the 1 chord. So these are just chosen absolutely randomly. Some of this might sound absolutely terrible, but my guess is it's going to all sound kind of decent-ish if we just pick those random chords and stayed inside the key. It would sound, see if I can follow this. Ready, set, here we go. With the track.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down and made me pull the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you loved.
So that was just playing those random. So again, the melody is kind of repeating its thing, and then I'm just playing chords that are inside of the key underneath it, and it all kind of works-ish. There are a couple little points where I might have altered a chord or two, but just picking random chords within the key kind of works for these songs, especially that have really repetitive melodies. So that's one of the ideas, is harmonic generalization, which is kind of, like I said, what's going on anyway. The chords that they're playing don't really matter a whole lot. It's just the slight change, the slight harmonic change underneath a repetitive melody. Okay, so the next thing we can do is exchanging relative minors and majors. So, and when I say can do, I mean this is something you can experiment with. This is something you should experiment with. It doesn't mean it's something that is going to sound great all the time. But relative majors and minors are just all of these here, all the minor chords in the 6th column can be exchanged for the corresponding chord in the 1 column. So 1s and 6s can be exchanged. So if we take one of these chords up here, and Kendra, I'll let you pick 2 of these at random, any of the black chords here, not the 5 chords, but any of the others.
Okay, B flat minor and A flat.
B flat minor and A flat. All right, cool. So then B flat minor, we're going to find that one, and then A flat, we're going to find that one. So if I take the B flat minor here, B flat minor right here could be exchanged for a D flat. So we're going to put a D flat in place of the B flat minor, and then where we had the A flat chord, we could exchange that for an F minor. So we're going to play an F minor instead of an A flat, and we're going to play a D flat instead of a B flat minor. If I come back up here, instead of the B flat minor, we're going to play the D flat, and instead of the A flat, we're going to play the F minor. Now,
oh, hey, Jamin.
Yes.
There's a comment. It says, I'm not sure what it is, so maybe you'll know, but a bossa nova rhythm works good with this melody.
Oh, yeah, cool. We could try that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, oh, yeah. Yeah. Tangent for another time. Man, yeah, I really want to tell you. I'll tell you later. It was really cool. I had a really cool experience out in the, nope, I'm going to end up telling the story. Sorry. Okay, so then we've got a D flat right there and an F minor right there. So then we need to take out this chord right here, and we need to take out this chord right here, because the point of the E flat was to point to the A flat, but the A flat no longer exists. It's now an F minor, so we're going to take that out, and then this F, same problem there. It was pointing to the B flat, and so the B flat doesn't exist anymore, so that F doesn't have a function anymore. If we wanted to, we could put in the 5s of these new chords that we've now added in. So on the F, before the F, the 5 of the F would be 1, 3, 5, would be a C, and we could go C to an F, and on the D flat, we could go 1, 3, 5, an A flat leading into the D flat. I'm going to try it first without those chords, and then we'll try them with those chords. So first I'm going to play it without the C7 and without the A flat, just so you can hear the difference between the A flat and the F minor getting switched and the B flat minor and the D flat getting switched. It would sound something like this. I'm going under, and this time F minor, no D flat. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now with the C7, right? D flat. To get me through it all, I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you love. Yeah, okay. I'm not a fan of that C7 at all. Did I do that right? It sounded so terrible. I did do it right. Yeah, it's the dominant 7 in that key. That doesn't work at all for me. But anyway, those are kind of the concepts there, is that you can take the C7 and the A flat were not the point that we were making. The point was the A flats and F minors can be commonly exchanged. The reason you can do this is that they share basically the same exact notes. So like this is an A flat chord, and this, watch carefully, ready? Here we go, and that's an F minor 7. So that's your F minor chord. That's your A flat chord. It's the same exact 3 notes. Just whatever your bass is playing. If you play that, it's an A flat chord. If your bass player is playing that, it's an F minor chord, which is part of the cool part of being a bass player is that you have all that power. Like you can just take what the entire band is playing and change your one note, and then you've changed the chord that everybody's playing. They're all trying to play an A flat, but if you play an F, the band's playing an F minor. So that is exchanging relative majors and minors. We'll do a couple more of these. We don't usually get to most of these, or some of these we don't ever get to because they're just picked randomly. So I want to make sure we got to some of these. Substitution by number chart. This is another one that we usually don't get to. So over here, by number, and here's our number chart. And these are just like, this is not an exhaustive list at all. This is just some of the most common exchanges that you can make. If you've got a 1 chord, you could, instead of playing the 1 chord, try out a 6 or try out a 4 or try out a 3, and usually one or more of those would sound super decent-ish. If you've got a 2 chord, you could try a 4 chord, but that's the same thing as the exchanging relative majors and minors. So we kind of already did that one. And that's the case for the 6 chord here, and this, and this, and this. All of the ones I put X's on are just examples of switching relative majors and minors. That's how common they are, is that even on this other chart of like, hey, you could try these chords, that exchange is still going to show up between relative majors and minors. So then if we wanted to try one of these other ones, the chords that we play are a 1 to a 5 to a 6 to a 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. So then let's try maybe on this 6 chord right here, exchanging one of those, and then on the 1 chord we could try one of these other chords as well. So Kendra, what do you think? On the 1 chord, should we try the 4 or should we try the 3?
Ooh, the 3.
The 3. So we'll try the 3 in place of the 1, and then in place of the 6, do you want to try the 4 or the 2?
The 4.
The 4. So we're going to try the 4 in place of the 6, and then we're going to try the 3 in place of the 1. So instead of playing a D flat chord, we're going to play the 3 chord in the key of D flat, which again, if we come back over to this chart, if you need this chart, there's nothing wrong with that. The 3 chord in the key of D flat is going to be bum ba da bum 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 F minor, key of D flat. The 3 chord is F minor, so we're playing F minor instead of a D flat. And then in place of the, what did we say? In place of the 6 chord, we're going to try the 4 chord. So instead of a B flat minor, we're going to try a G flat, because that's the 4 chord. Okay, so then an F minor and a G flat, those are going to go in place of the 1 chord. We would play the F minor, and in place of the, what do we say? In place of the G flat, we're going to try a what?
Was it a 4?
It was a 4. Oh, in place of the 6 chord, sorry. This is the 6 chord. We're going to try a 4 chord. So it's going to be a G flat. So this is kind of interesting, because what we end up with here is, with all of our substitution, we end up with just 2 chords. F minor for the first 2 bars and G flat for the other 2 bars. So sometimes when you do these substitutions, you end up with stuff that's less crazy, not more crazy. But here we go. Trying an F minor to an F minor to a G flat to a G flat. Actually, I think I'm going to like this a whole lot. Let's try it.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to feel, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you love.
That's not bad at all. I mean, if we sped that up. Yeah, I could totally dig that. And that's just 2 chords back and forth. Let's do one more of these just to give you an idea of how you could use some of these charts. Let's pick one that we don't usually get to. Kendra, are there any on here that you don't recognize? Putting you kind of on the spot.
What is the SMB anticipate a chord by whole steps below?
Yes. Okay, cool. The SMB is not something any other musician would know what I'm talking about. It stands for Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
In my world, that's where it comes from. It's this sound of... So that was my first relationship with that particular progression, which is just taking some goal chord, some chord you want to land on, and approaching it by 2 whole steps below. So this to this to this. So that's a whole step each time, and then I land on the chord that I want. So the way that we would try that out here is if we went back to our original chords here, and then we just took like that D flat, this thing right here. And we said, all right, we want to land on a D flat. Well, before the D flat, we need to be a whole step below that. So we'd come at it with a B. I'm going to say I'm supposed to say a B7. I'm going to say just say a B for right now. And then we would approach the B, a whole step down from there. We'd play an A to a B to a D flat, because that would be those three whole steps in a row. 3 chords that are a whole step apart each. So then that means that would have to actually happen over here in order for that to like lead into the D flat. So at the end of that line, we'd throw in an A. So I'm going to try that, and you can kind of hear. But yeah, we'll try those chords: A to B to D flat. Let's try it. See what happens.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds.
I like that a whole lot.
Nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you love.
So, yeah, that doesn't. In most contexts, if you have another melody on top of it, stuff, you got chords before it and after it, it doesn't actually sound like Super Mario Brothers. But every time I hear that progression, like that's what it triggers in my mind, because when I transcribed Super Mario Brothers, of course, everything after that felt like that. It was such a unique moving by a whole step feel. That's where it comes from in my head. Of course, they stole it from somewhere else. So there are some of the less frequently hit topics. And then, of course, there's all the other concepts we talk about, all the tritone subs and all the 2-5-1s and all that stuff. So we'll probably do like we did last time, where I like come up with the reharm that I would like to do on this. Like if I was just going to go at it and pick my favorites of these for this particular context. But I'll try to include some of this stuff too. I'll probably use that, the A to B thing, because I'm really digging that. But I'll also break it up into sections. So I'll probably have like the verse part be different than the chorus part. So an example of that would be, this is not what I'm going to do probably, but an example of that would be something like this. We play the track.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. fall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down and made me pull the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you loved.
So something like that, where like I use different types of progressions for the different sections of the songs. So we'll come up with something like that for a separate video. But for today, I think if there's anything down here at the bottom of the list, you're like, hey, you never get to these in your reharms, then let me know what you would like to see me do, and we can either work. I especially like working with you guys on your song. So whatever it is that you're currently working on, let's go reharm that thing. Take your best swing at it, and then send me a video of that, and then we can work through reharming your stuff, because chances are you're not particularly in love with this song, but I would love for you to use these concepts on songs that you do love. So that's kind of the idea here. But if there's something on the list that we never get to and you wish that we did, or if you're new with us, welcome. Glad you could join us. A lot of the stuff is just student-led stuff. So whatever songs you're wanting to do or reharms you're wanting to hear, then let me know, and we'll try to incorporate all of that stuff. Till next time, though, I think it's time to go explore, mess up, have fun, rock on.